Speed. I am speed. These are the words ushered by the one Montgomery McQueen, also known as Lightning McQueen. The Cars movie was always one of my favorites as a kid. Like, how could you not like it? They had a car version of Jay Leno in it called Jay Limo. But even as great as the Cars movie is, that's not what we're here to talk about today. Instead, we're here to talk about the video game. The Cars video game on PS2. Or at least that's what I had it on. I think it was on like a bunch of other systems, probably like all of these too. It's kind of crazy now that I think about it too, because I had a bunch of Pixar games growing up. I had The Incredibles, Ratatouille, and the one that I remember playing the most and at least liking the most was the Cars video game. I have a bunch of memories of playing the game, driving through the desert, and having it be just one of the most relaxing, chill games that I've played. I'm like, oh my god, this game's amazing. Was the Cars video game an RPG? And I was trying to think back to those days when 8-year-old me would flip on the Cars video game, sit about 2 feet away from the screen, and play that game for hours. I guess I kind of get why I thought it was an RPG. Like, you can customize your car, it's open world, there's missions, there's a main story, so it kind of has elements of an RPG, but I don't think in the way that I originally thought it was. But it's still fun. It doesn't undercut how great and how much I love this game. And I keep on saying there's all these different things in the game. Oh, this makes it great. This makes it great. I haven't shown you any evidence. I haven't given you any proof for you to believe me. So what I want to do here today is take you through that. Take you through the ringer of the Cars video game on PlayStation 2. After we get through that slightly different intro, we found out that Lightning is just kind of here, and Mac is too. Because in the movie, everyone is actively trying to find him while he's stuck at Radiator Springs, trying to atone for literally tearing up the road of the town. But in the game, everything's just super chill, and Lightning McQueen's basically on vacation. And right at the beginning of the game, you get introduced to the main system of the game. The missions. The game has a bunch of different missions that you find around the map. A lot of the missions that you play are about racing. Who would have guessed in a game all about cars? Well, but there are a couple exceptions. Something that I really liked about the missions is they're all themed depending on who you're talking to. So if you're talking to Doc Hudson, he'll teach you about drifting. If you're talking to Sarge, you'll go through the boot camp, you'll do some army crawling, you'll crawl through the mud. But if you're with Fillmore, you'll probably get some of that organic gasoline. You know what I was talking about, right? Organic gasoline. I suck at winking. I shouldn't do that again. And then there's some one-off missions that are also themed with the characters. Like with Mater, you'll go tractor tipping. And all the sounds that are used in the game are the exact same ones in the movie. But they kind of get more annoying in the game, because in the movie, you'll hear the... And then in one mission in the game, you'll probably hear it 8-10 times, depending on if you miss or not. And I don't know why, but that sound haunts me in my dreams. I can close my eyes and picture it. Just some of the other missions that you can do too are collecting tires that are around the map as Luigi, or chasing down people as Sheriff. They were the type of mission I did once and I was done. That was perfect. I didn't need to do it anymore. A lot of these one-off missions though, you can just play over and over again and keep on getting the trophies, which you'll need to progress the story. We'll talk more about that later. The police mission also reminded me of a scene from the movie where the sheriff is chasing down Lightning and then his car keeps on backfiring and Lightning thinks that it's a gun? Are there guns in the Cars universe? Like actually, canonically, is there guns in the Cars universe? But like I said, a lot of these mini games, these one-off mini games are kind of repetitive and a little bit boring, but it is pretty cool to see that they did try to do something different instead of just having races and do some things that are one-off takes from the movie. Something that I noticed when driving around in the game is your speed always seems just insanely high. Like I feel like I'm going, I don't know, 30, 40 miles per hour, and then the speedometer will say like 90, 100, just something absolutely ridiculous. Like, I get that Lightning McQueen's a race car, but for some reason, your top speed doesn't seem like that of a race car. You kind of seem kind of sluggish at times, but then other times you're like zooming, especially when you get the boost later in the game. Something you probably noticed is that my Lightning is not red, and that's because you can go to your old pal Ramon's body shop and unlock a bunch of different colors to customize customize Lightning. But anyways, that's beside the point. Back to the main story. The main part of the game consists of 5 main chapters where you'll do random races, missions, a bunch of different things to earn trophies. Once you have enough trophies, you can do that chapter's Grand Prix. Most of the missions that you do are just kind of one-off races, just padding the time in between the next cup. But some of the little moments that you'll have are just taken exactly from the movie, which those are the missions that I like the most, especially the mission where you're driving up the mountain with Sally. It felt, I guess, as close as they could get to the actual thing in the movie. Also, is it just me, or is it kind of weird that they gave Sally a lower back tattoo? I don't know. That always just felt like weird to me. All the missions in the game are kind of fun in their own right, but the ones that I like the most is where the game creators took their own creative liberties and tried to create either unique stories or missions that made sense for either Lightning or the different characters that you play as. Like, one of the missions that you'll do is you play as Mater, and you go through this whole demolition derby against other rusty cars, and it just makes sense. It's very fitting, and it seems like something that Mater would actually do. Or the race, where they soup you up like a monster truck, and you race against all of your favorite characters, all the characters that you know and love. Count Spatula, Ginormous, and the Crippler? Is that right? Is that actually what his name was? I don't know if I should say that. I think that should be censored. One mission that I remember the most from when I was a kid is called High Speed Chase. This mission mimics the part from the movie where the Neon Squad ram Lightning out of his car and knock him into Radiator Springs in the first place. But this one is a little bit different than that. Instead of that, since Lightning's already in the city and it wouldn't make sense, kicking him out, they smack into the back of it, trying to get a bunch of trophies, boxes, just steal a bunch of stuff from Lightning and Mac. This is also the only level where I think you play as the bad guys. All the other ones are just normal racing or just doing something as that character. You're literally stealing from Lightning and Mac and committing a crime. But man, is this a fun level. You're boosting. The lights are flashing. They're all neon. They're all bright. You're cruising through traffic on oncoming traffic. This mission was everything that I wanted as a kid. See, even though you play as the bad guys in this level, it has all the things that every kid wants. It has a cool flashing light. It's got awesome boosting. You're flying through traffic. It's got banging music playing the entire time. And the level takes place at night. And this is one of the very few levels that you play at night. So I don't know. I think it's still pretty cool. I think the funniest thing about this mission is the mission that you play directly after this is Lightning punishing all the cars from stealing the stuff and getting it back. So back to back, you play as the villains, you steal the packages, then you just get them back. It's perfect balance. The game is in perfect balance and it's great. There's also one part of the game that I haven't even talked about yet, and that's the exploration. It's fun exploring the game. It's a really fun open world. One of the quests that you get early on is just going around the map collecting postcards, and the postcards are scattered all around the map, so it's to encourage you to explore everywhere, every nook and cranny around the entire map. And over the course of me playing, I think I got about half of them from just naturally going around.
And you might be saying, oh, Jimmy, there's nothing to do. The whole game's empty. It's just a big desert.
But honestly, that's like one of the best parts about the game is just driving around, enjoying the scenery, and listening to the amazing soundtrack. Oh, that's another thing. I haven't even mentioned how good the music is in this game. Like, it has no right having this many just amazing songs. Before anything, I do need to address the elephant in the room. Life is a Highway is not in the game. I know, it's sad, it sucks. You would expect it to be in the game. It is connected to the Cars movie more than any other song, but that doesn't mean that the game doesn't have a bunch of other bangers that make up for it. Just to name a couple of the songs, it has Night Drive by All American Rejects, it has White Knuckle Ride by Leonard Skinner, and then the cream of the crop, the piece de resistance, that little cherry on top, it is Free Ride by the Edgar Winter Group. Let me tell you, I have not played this game in probably more than 10 years, And every time I hear the song Free Ride, the only thing I can think about is driving around the streets of Radiator Springs. So now that I finally played the Cars game again, I know for a fact that it's definitely not an RPG, but was the nostalgia a farce? Is this game actually trash? No, I think this game is amazing. Like, the gameplay is fun, the story's quick, short, but you know, it's pretty fun. The environment's really cool, the music's really great, and I still recommend it, even though a couple of the missions are kind of trash. I'm looking at you, tractor tipping. But that's it for that video. If you have a recommendation of a game that you liked playing as a kid or you hold a bunch of nostalgia for, please let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one.
Life's like a road that you travel on. There's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door.